In this video, I'm just gonna cover one of the first concepts, one of the first skills you should master when going for leg locks, and that's how you wrap your legs tightly around your partner's legs. So really how you make your entanglements tight. To start is with the standard ashi, also known as the single leg X position. You want both your feet inside your partner's feet here. So you can drill this with a partner like this, where you make both feet go inside, grab the knee, grab the ankle, and then pull yourself through and get to here. What you're looking for, what's the concept here, is you want to put wedges around your partner's leg. So here I cover by the hip, I close here, so there's a wedge here, making it hard for Felix to pull his squat back here. On his quad, I block with this here, where I block my heel and knee together. On the foot itself, I also want to put a wedge, so I just want to put my elbow over and I want to lean all my weight over here. So now his foot is trapped at the end here, like the knot at the end of a rope. So when he tries to pull his leg out here, it's very hard and I'm not using any strength. I'm just keeping this closed, making sure I'm hip to hip, and I'm making sure here that I have my elbow in and I'm putting body weight over this to make everything wedge in. So this is a really important concept. If you're just trying to squeeze your thighs, I can only hold this for so long and Felix can pull out of it. So just squeezing with your muscles is not tight. Putting mechanical wedges around your partner's leg is actually going to make it tight. Anytime, for example, we get into the standing position here and we lock up this leg configuration, it's the same thing. This lock here prevents me from sliding down. When Felix takes my foot off his hip, look how I fall out here. That's because I lose that wedge, that attachment here. That helps me fight gravity here. So I want to really keep this close and everything in here. I can also prevent it from just like moving this foot around by locking the wedge. Now there's no floor to lock around his ankle here, so I shoot my arm through with an ankle lock grip. Now when Felix tries to kick out, he has to clear that. And I know what to replace to stay tight here. Okay. Another example. So learn this first from this position. And afterwards you should focus on back heels. So back heels is anytime I pull my heels to my butt. A good example from where we can use this is from the saddle position here. Also known as the cross ashigarami, the honey hole, whatever. So many weird names for this position. But I basically want to stay hip to hip, close with my hip as possible. I have both feet on the inside. The key to making this tight is again the wedges. I want to really attach myself in here. So my foot is not just dead here. I'm curling my heel to my butt and I'm bringing my butt to my heel. Okay, you see his leg here? It's hard for him to slide this back here, but if he can get his leg straight, he can pull this back. So I want to create another wedge here. The other wedge I create is by bringing this knee up and in here. So now I'm kind of scissoring his leg. This leg is pushing his butt and his hips down. This knee here is elevating this. And now I can do the same thing where I put weight over his foot here. So now we kind of have this zigzag configuration here. His hips are pushed down here, his knee is elevated up, and his foot is pushed down here, so that I created 3 points of wedging here, by the hip, by the knee, and by the ankle. So now when Felix tries to pull out of this, it's very hard. If you ever experience people just pulling their legs straight out from this position, it's probably because you lack some of the wedges. All right. So you want to bend his leg by retracting this knee here, putting weight over this angle. Okay, and this one back heeling in. So when he tries to pull out now, it's so hard. Okay. Another place where specifically back heeling is important is from the outside ashi. So when I have both feet outside his hips here, if my feet are just dead here, it's hard for me to create a proper wedge here and really attach myself. So Felix can just straight leg his leg out here and go back. To make this tight, kind of the same thing from the saddle. I back heel this leg hard, this knee retracts to kind of, I try to scissor the top of his leg off here. And then third, I put body weight and a wedge over his ankle. So when he tries to pull out now, it's very high. And I can have my feet crossed, but I'm still creating the same effect. So when he tries to pull out here, very, very difficult. All right, so this is just an introduction to how to stay tight on the leg. Remember to close the wedges off. Try to think about you're scissoring off this part of his leg and you're scissoring off this part of his leg. It should be hard for him to pull his leg out, and if you feel like you're just squeezing real hard with your legs, that probably means that mechanically there's some things you need to work on, right? So try to use these wedges first when you get to a leg lock, and you will find that your success rate will increase in just holding people there, and then the submissions come easier.